And I am live. I am waiting on Greg, guys. He texted me just as I texted him right before the show, and I don't know if I got his intention right here with this. Hopefully my audio is good. Got a different mic setup going on. I also have new internet, so this should be a lot better of a stream, hopefully. And if it's not, I don't know, guys. I guess that's it for me. But yeah, I texted him, sent the link to this room, and that we'll be live in a couple minutes. He said, need a few extra minutes just to live, and I'll join shortly. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Maybe he means need a few extra minutes, just go live. But he said just to live. So I'm going to take it that Greg is on his deathbed, or maybe he's on the toilet struggling to live. But yeah, he probably just meant just go live. We'll see. We'll actually ask him about that. Usually he's already here. But yeah, so more serious news starting off with than usual, because usually we'll kind of it is serious, like cultural stuff. If we're talking about like Lily Phillips boinking 100 men, or getting boinked by, I should say, 100 men, that's something that does have a cultural ramification to just be seeing that everywhere. But right now it's actually a bit more of a serious situation. So controversial. I should start off with a streamer, not a YouTube streamer. He's on his own site, Cozy, and Rumble. Nick Fuentes. This has been something that has been talked about by other people. Let's say like Tim Pool, Law of Self-Defense. So I'm hoping that we don't get nuked here on this talking about this, right? But he basically this. I think it was like a month ago, a few weeks ago or something. Basically, he had gotten into it where, right after Trump got elected, he tweeted out a tweet that I don't know if I'm really supposed to mention it, but anyway, the tweet was "Your body, my choice, forever." And he, be it as it may, whatever the intention was, there were people that were looking to come for him over this, and who knows what they would do. So basically he was hiding out from what I recall his mother's house, and there were still people going over there. The location was found out. There was a woman, Marla Rose. Let's see here. I can find some of this stuff. But yeah, she had basically went to his house, right? And she was basically saying like, oh, let me talk to him. Like there was some lady, apparently, like she was filming the outside of his house. She was at the very least from the sidewalk filming it. And then there was another lady pulling up in her car and saying like, you should go talk to this guy. Like, I guess they were both like, I mean, Marla of course was under the knowledge of who Nick Fuentes was, from what I understand. So was the lady in the car, for some reason, still going around his house as well. But long story short, there, Marla goes up to his front door, rings the doorbell. He comes outside, and from what is seen in the video, he does spray her in the face. And from what people understand, of course, that appears to be pepper spray, right? And so then he pushes her down his steps, from what it seems, and from what she says. And then, it basically got to the point where the cops came and started asking her about that. That was the story she was giving. We could actually watch the police footage because that's actually been put out there, which I don't know if we want to wait for Greg to start on that or what, but essentially like her side of the story before this, she actually had this like Facebook post where she was talking about this beforehand, where she's like, oh, well, when I was interviewing with the cop was like, cause she was like, are you going to arrest him or whatever? And he's like, for what? And she's like, oh, for what? But if you actually watch, because I have watched one perspective of the body footage, because there were a couple cams, I had seen that that wasn't the exact interaction going on. The guy was just basically saying, I'm gonna go get Nick's side. I'm reading some funny tweets about this situation. Interesting phrasing some people have when it comes to Marla Rose. But yeah, so apparently she's also raising money for legal costs. But yeah, let's pull up. Actually, I suppose let's the original video. Let's pull up the one from November 12th, which actually, yeah, over a month ago at this point. Let's see. Let me pull that one up, and then we will watch the police body cam footage that was released as well. And then there was actually recently, this was from what I see a couple hours ago on Nick's Twitter, he was saying that a man that wanted to come for his life had shown up at his door with weapons brandished and was actually calling out his name. So we will watch that as well. And yeah, just to preface this, of course, because we are on YouTube, and even though I was saying that there are people like Tim Pool or Law of Self-Defense reviewing the situation, you really don't know, man. Yeah, YouTube is just, sometimes they just get stringent on things like this when you talk about somebody. So just to put it this way, we're not giving one take or the other on Nick's views surrounding this on here. This is really just to address the situation, see whether or not this actually does fall within what self-defense would be considered legally, and of course we can have our own perspectives outside of that as well, that we wouldn't even have to avoid discussing as far as well, actually I don't know. But perhaps we could give opinions on those to a certain extent at least. And now we have Mr. Greg Atkins of the Atkins diet.
What?
Of the Atkins diet?
This is the first I'm hearing of that.
You don't know about the Atkins diet? It's basically like a low carb. It's essentially keto before keto became a big thing.
Sounds pretty cringe.
It is, but I want to see your profile picture to see if we can make some sort of association with that name.
Likely not. Hold on. There we go.
Okay.
What you got
So what
there?
have you been up to, Mr. Greg? What have you been up to, Mr. Greg?
What are you drinking?
Oh, what do I got there? I thought you were making a joke about. Okay, yeah. I have sugar milk, and I have additional milk on the side that does not have sugar in it. But I will be drinking more of it once I run out of the sugar milk. So
that's actually kind of a great idea, because I'm already running out of steam, even though I just ate something.
What'd you just eat?
That coconut flour cookie.
Well, that's not a lot of food.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of fat, so I figured it'd hold.
Yeah, it should slow down that absorption of the sugar.
But it's not as slow as I would hope. Anyway, you asked me what's up. Wait, hold on. Catch me up. What have you been talking about?
I have just been talking about, I've been introducing the Nick Fuentes situation, basically starting off with the whole Marlo Rose approaching his door, how he got in this in the first place as far as people like staking his house out. And then I also mentioned that there was a man that wanted to take his life outside of his house as well. And he has video of that from his Ring, where like his doorbell camera, that was actually intending on the likelihood is taking his life. But yeah, I had that video queued up. I had the Marlo one, and then we also were going to watch the police body cam footage from the event. Right after.
Why don't we go down that path, and then I'll take the stage after that, I guess.
You want to do a full review of this situation, and then we'll talk our stuff?
Well, it seemed like you're already going into the Fuentes stuff, so...
Yeah, I don't know. Now that you're here, I wanted to see what's up with you, maybe give a quick little bit. We could talk about the Miami stuff after.
Yeah, okay, well, if it's quick, I'm wearing jeans, which I never do when I'm recording.
I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah, shorts would be preferable, but I had to go outside for like half a second.
Oh, let me clarify real quick before we, get back into stuff as well. You meant just to just go live, right? Not you need a few extra minutes just to live and you'll join shortly.
Wait, what?
You made a mistake perhaps, or perhaps you were dying prior to this. It says your text was need a few extra minutes just to live and I'll join shortly.
Well, that would be contradictory, because I wouldn't be able to join shortly if I need a few extra minutes to live.
Well, I would think that it would be regaining your optimal living state in those few minutes, basically just holding the line until you're able to get back to your physical optimal health and then come on here with me.
That's it's a bit of a reach.
I also thought maybe you were just dying on the toilet. I don't know.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Although that coconut flour, maybe.
So
Anyway,
I guess what's up with you just as of today?
yeah, I'm wearing
before we get back
jeans.
into it. That's it? Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to watch Marla Rose. And actually, how's my Wi-Fi looking right now for you?
Right now, I'm not noticing any issues.
My quality and everything. I am directly hooked up to this Wi-Fi with this computer. This is a good running computer. The Wi-Fi is way better than before. Better upload, download speeds, everything. It should be a lot better for the viewers too. If you guys are in the chat, whoever is, let me know whether it's good or bad, whatever it is. And hopefully it is good.
Marla Rose is ringing a bell. I don't know where I've heard that name before.
Ringing a bell.
I mean, I guess I've.
You say.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So here's the footage she had that she released from her ringing the doorbell and what ensued from that. So we're going to take a look at this.
Hi. Oh my God. What are you doing? Get the fuck out of
here. And you can see he does take the phone. That kick. The phone. That is pretty funny. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people have broken this video down, but I'm sure we can just do this briefly here. Perhaps not dig too deep into this part of it, just because this is like a month old, and we are going to look into the recently released body cam footage from the police after the fact. But I suppose just for the sake of understanding what's happening here again, this is, like I said, a lady that her side of the story was that she was coming to see him because she had seen the post online that he made. That you're familiar, right? Your body, my choice, forever.
Nope. This is news to me.
Nick made a tweet saying your body, my choice forever after Trump won. And that was why a lot of the hate has been directed at him. That's why people have been staking him out. That's why he went to a separate location, which I mean, from what I remember is his mom's house, and has been living there, and basically was saying he wasn't getting a lot of sleep and such because that tweet basically sparked enough outrage for people to be coming after him like this. So, well, what Marla did was that she was like, well, we'll actually see her discuss it with the cop in the video, but she was saying basically that in her mind, this is like such a horrendous thing to even be saying. She's like, it's not even the fact that he's a Republican. It's like this itself, these words. I mean, this was what she was so mad about. So she was, and I'm not saying one thing or another about that, but I'm just saying that that's what her claim was. So she comes to like the sidewalk of his house, filming the house, and allegedly what she was saying, and she'll say this to the cop, is that she was saying that people were saying there were like bags of dog poop and stuff outside of his house, and she's like showing, oh, that's not true, this is what her story is. And then you have a lady pull up in a car as well, and Nick is watching them as they're talking, but there's a lady that on the side of the street that pulls up in a car asking about Nick. Apparently she does know who Nick is as well, from what was being said. And then Marla basically gets encouraged by this woman to walk up to Nick's door, ring the doorbell, talk to him. And then as we can see, as soon as she does ring the doorbell, we're going to watch. Hi. As soon as she says hi, he basically comes out because this is to break down what's happening, right? It's not as if he's just doing this to the first person that comes to his door. The context that he's giving on his side is that, he is seeing a woman that is filming his house from the side of the street. He doesn't know for what. He sees another car pulling up to the front of his house. There have been a lot of threats against him at this point. He is basically in the video that he's talking to the cop. He was saying basically he hadn't slept a lot. Because of this, he had been hiring security, who had been like basically at his home from a certain hour to another hour. Like he's not able to afford it 24/7, but basically that they had been like outside of his house, like, at certain times a day. And then he had been calling the cops multiple times. And what we see here is that because of all of this, he basically feels threatened by the person coming to his door, because even if you guys watch the law of self-defense video, which I sent to Greg, I don't know if you watched that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, I guess we'll scroll through that a bit just so we can hear the legal argument, so that maybe you can get a bit of more perspective on that, and maybe that'll help the viewers too, because obviously he can explain it better than I can. But one of the criteria for Nick using this non-deadly force to remove a trespasser on his property. Well, I guess that's like one of the things he could do. He could be using this non-deadly force to remove a trespasser from his property, or if he thinks that he is in imminent danger physically, he is able to use this in either of those situations, like a non-abiding trespasser or the other thing, if he thinks he's about to be physically in danger. And it's not necessarily dependent on 100% on whether the danger is actually present. It's just whether he reasonably would assume that this is the case, right? So from this, you could take it that perhaps he actually would, reasonably assume that this is the case, because as you can see, there is a person outside of his house, filming his house, talking to somebody else that's in a car outside of the house. And so there can be a lot assumed from that, right? That itself, we don't obviously when he doesn't have full context either, there can be assumptions that could be considered reasonable that he could draw from that. But let's see. So basically we're watching him here. He sprays her. He doesn't answer to the police what he actually does, but people infer that it is pepper spray. She says that it's pepper spray. She obviously is saying that, it's not like what she feels is not water. She says she's not like seriously injured or anything after the fact, but she does feel that it was pepper spray. She says he pushes her down. We can't really see that well. This was something I was recognizing at the time of the event. We can't really see well what he's actually doing, though she does fall back. I just can't tell 100% what's happening. Maybe the person in the car would give the cop a story as far as what she saw, but anyway. So allegedly he pushes her back. She falls onto the ground, or onto the front of onto the front of the house. From there, let's listen back to the audio so we can tell what's going on here. Okay, so you do see that he picks up the phone. She is on the ground there. He throws the phone on the ground, which he already has the phone. I don't actually know 100% why obviously you're in a stressful situation. I don't know. But he kicks the phone back. This is a little bit of a funny part. It's the look he gives when he kicks the phone down and then kicks it back, like throws it down, kicks it back. Locks the door. Make sure that it's secured, and then picks up the phone. And that's what we see from this video that was released. Thoughts on this so far?
Nope.
No?
Not
okay.
really. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. I can't really say much about it.
That's fair. So let me find the body cam footage. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to see because I pretty much explained a lot of what was described in the legal video, like the analysis of it, but I suppose there could be some other important context if you wanted to watch some of that first, or did you just want to go straight to the body cam?
Probably body cam and then pick up some of the legal stuff too.
I am pretty much explaining what most of the video honestly was. We could take a look just to see if I'm missing anything, but all in all, I think, the body cam footage would make more sense to be analyzing right now. And that is actually about 20 minutes.
Damn.
So yeah, it's the full thing. I mean, it's uncut. Let's see. I just thought of something.
I think we thought of the same thing.
Well, it's relevant to Marla Rose. Okay.
Is it?
Well, I mean, it's relevant. Does Marla Rose have sons? I don't know. Okay. Here's the footage.
Hello. Oh, it doesn't matter. You can stay outside.
And I take it this was the lady in the car, not Marla.
Were you the one that got pushed?
Like so snowed.
Or was that Marla? Honestly, I watched the video late last night. I'm just trying to remember.
It's a woman standing out there. I'm sorry. I'm shaking so hard.
Okay, yeah. This is probably the lady from the car. I would take it, and not just Marla in the car.
She was right in front of his house.
Oh, you weren't involved?
I saw the whole thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it is the lady.
Okay.
And I would be more than happy to explain to you exactly what happened. And I tried to
So she's up there right now?
Yeah, she is.
How does she look?
She's probably like my age, and she has curly brown with gray hair. She's got some
Hispanic,
blondes. She's white. I mean, yes. Yeah, she's just right out there.
Okay.
I tried to get her to come
Can
with
you have an
me.
ID just so I could
Yeah,
get
of
your information real
course.
quick before I leave? So what happened?
So I was told I'll just be completely honest with you.
I just wanted to point out that description. I just want to repeat exactly what she said. She's white. That's it. That was her description. Okay, I'm just repeating it back.
The phrase, your body, my choice. So he is evil against women.
She's giving him a lot of credit. He coined the phrase. I mean, like, yeah, he did say it on Twitter, but it's like, damn, dude, like you're really making him out to be something as far as like influence. I'm just saying. That's
never heard that phrase until you told me about it just now.
What? Oh, your body,
my choice. So it's not like it's like a famous slogan, unless I'm completely out of the loop. I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying it's giving him credit as far as saying like, oh yeah, he didn't actually make this, but it's more to the point that he pretty much like I don't know. It's kind of weird to say like he coined the phrase when it's just something he tweeted, you know? It's odd.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like a common thing that people say all the time, you know?
That's what I'm saying. It's not like a "Make America Great Again" or anything like that. It's just a tweet.
Right. By the way, I need to send this stream link to a perhaps I don't know if you read the title all the way through.
Yes.
Okay. So we might have a surprise guest. Might. I wasn't sure if I was going to tell this guest to come on later or something. Let's see. I don't know if this guest would want to talk about this topic specifically or would want to come on after.
He probably wouldn't.
Let's see.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Let's see. Let's see. I'll just let him know.
What are the right wingers saying about this? Like the Shapiro types? Anything? Because I haven't heard anything from them.
I actually want to see because the thing is like even some people that were these are more like libertarian circles, but some of the people that were they're not Nick Fuentes fans or anything, but they're saying like his politics aside, if somebody's coming to my house doing what she did, they're basically implicating that they would not be forgiveful either of her for showing up like that at such a point. And I think context, like it does hold some, like, you know, at least some significance, because if you were to tell somebody, because I had a friend I was talking about this with, and he was basically, he wasn't aware of the whole situation prior. I was telling him about it, but I guess he didn't really like think about it too much as far as like the situation Nick's in, because you kind of have to see what he's going through as far as like when he's talking about it. But he was saying like, oh, well, you know, it's not justified to just pepper spray somebody that comes to your door. But that does require more context, even if it's not justified or it is whatever it is. It does require more context than just pepper spraying the first person that rings on your doorbell or like some Girl Scout. Because I think people even likened it to like, what if you just pepper spray a Girl Scout? It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. We're looking at different cases.
Also, what I was hearing, where in that one place of digital engagement, the one broad was saying it's not that's not what's the term? That's not a valid form of self-defense or whatever if someone just walks up to your door. And I didn't know about the whole situation either, so I wasn't really, I was just kind of trolling entirely, to be honest. But given the context that has been revealed, it is certainly a different situation when you take that into account.
Well, I do see on Tim Pool's show, like he has a clip here that's 16 minutes saying Nick Fuentes charged with battery. Tim Pool slams ridiculous charges. So, I mean, Tim Pool is kind of like in that same sphere of like Daily Wire, and he's saying ridiculous. So, I mean, I think like if they do, whoever it is, if they do separate his politics from, you know, this situation, I think most of them would just be on his side as far as like thinking that, you know, that he does have a right to prevent trespassers and you know, use what was the word? Non lethal force, basically, to remove them.
Yeah.
I think like at that point, like because if you're physically picking somebody up and putting them outside of your property, clearly you've done no damage to this person. Now, if you pepper spray them, it's not permanent damage. But I guess that's the difference people see, where they're like, oh my God, he sprayed her and that would really hurt me if that happened to me. So then they're thinking like, oh my God, how could he do that? Right. But again, the context is kind of separated from that, even so, because you're imagining yourself as somebody that isn't trying to harass him. So, but yeah, let's keep watching.
And so as I pulled up going past,
we have Toothless Pace saying depends on the harassment laws in Nick's state. Yeah, well, he's in an unfortunate, living in that area that he does. I don't know if it's like Chicago specifically or if it just is like nearby.
It might be like a suburb, so he might be like outside city limits.
Okay, yeah, but that even so is not great. Do you know anything about castle doctrine in Illinois?
I do not, unfortunately. Okay,
let me look it up. Illinois does have castle doctrine. Apparently, in this AI overview that I'm reading, allows use of force, including deadly force, to protect oneself and others from unlawful entry. No duty to retreat. There is no duty to retreat from a threat in one's home, even if it would be safe to do so. Reasonable force. Again, this is an AI summary, but it's probably going to get it right. Reasonable force. The force used must be reasonable and proportional to the threat. For example, using a shotgun against somebody waving a butter knife is probably not considered reasonable. Imminent harm. The threat must be imminent and lawful. So yeah, it's pretty much just going over that. But yeah, I mean, and this is this is not a public space. So, in Illinois, it says you must retreat in public spaces if it is safe to do so, but this is not that. This is, your home. And even, I want to say it was Andrew Bronco. That's his name, for law of self-defense. Let me look him up. Hopefully I'm not confusing two people. Yeah, no, that is him. He was even talking about how I actually just lost my train of thought trying to figure out like if that was 100% his name, but pretty much, yeah, he was saying that again, like you have some sort of expectation that this is you have some sort of privacy within your home, so it is different than whether or not somebody approaches you in a public space. So yeah, I mean, this is all relevant. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, I actually, even though he is, I mean, as far as like the courts go, though, that may be a different story than what the actual law is.
Yeah.
And especially with his views, I really don't think he's in great luck. Let me see. This is probably.
Well, I mean, if bad comes to worse, he could appeal it, and then it could be taken to like a higher court. So that could get rid of that issue.
True. But yeah, even like the fact that he would have to do that, it's like, yeah, that's something. But let's see. I'm gonna turn it on 1.25 speed just because we have to listen to a woman talking here, and that's something.
How do you know him?
It's all over the internet, and I'm just.
Oh.
I drove by because I'm ridiculous.
It's a post that he made.
No.
I drove by because I'm ridiculous.
Is that what she said?
I didn't catch that the first time I watched it. I heard it right now, but I did not catch that the first time I watched it. Hold on.
He is evil against women. And so as I pulled up going past,
how do you know him?
It's all over the internet, and I'm just.
Oh.
I drove by because I'm ridiculous.
Yeah, right there. You heard it? I drove by because I'm ridiculous. Let's see. The Toothless Pace says the appellate courts of Illinois aren't much better. To be expected.
Well,
and then you appeal again.
Supreme Court.
That is a challenge itself.
Yeah.
Getting your case heard is the problem. Okay.
The post that he made?
No, everybody's outing him because he's a white supremacist. And
what's your phone number?
Well, the white supremacist part and the your body, my choice part seem to be, I mean, you could have both as your values, but those are kind of disconnected. If you were to see him as a white supremacist now, you would have always seen him that way. So clearly it's not just that. Otherwise people would have been showing up. I mean, I guess he did just get doxxed, so I don't know. Maybe he would have had people. He probably would have. I mean, like, he definitely would have. I should say had people showing up anyway. But if he had been doxxed, but I don't know. I don't know that these two women in particular would have shown up if it weren't for the My Body My Choice, because literally women. As soon as they hear something about abortion rights, they're on it. Because I actually just today saw a guy interviewing a woman on those reels, and he's like, those reels, I sound like a boomer. He was like, would you rather have democracy or abortion rights? And the woman's like, well, I don't know. He's like, yeah, just pick one. And she's like, yeah, I think abortion access, I need that.
Notice how she said, I need that, and not we need that.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what she said too. I'm fairly certain she's like, I don't know if she said I would pick or I need that. It sounded like one or the other, but obviously if she's saying it's more important than what is perceived to be getting from democracy, people believe that this is the way of, attaining rights and securing them and, so on, and living in a peaceful society. This is, these are the things that are said about democracy. If you have that versus the ability to do what you do when you abort, and you choose the abortion regardless, clearly it shows how much of an emphasis you're putting on it. And you remember Haas, when he was talking to women on Fresh and Fit, and it was they were saying it's more important than war.
Yeah. They were saying shit like it's fucking the worst human rights violation or something like that.
It's something. That is something.
Holy
that
shit.
Is something. Let's see. I'm not hearing. Or I guess she's giving an address.
So, why exactly were you here?
I drove by, wanted to see where the jerk lived. To be totally honest, I'm so disgusted with everything. And when I came by, other people were taking photos, and then she was standing there, and I was.
Is your middle initial M for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your current address? Okay. And that's right apart.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I mean, I guess just talking about her saying I'm showing up just to see his house. I don't know, man. I don't know if people really just do that. You see somebody as so I mean, I guess if you're a woman, but if you see somebody as so horrendous that you're I need to show up to this person's house, is that really something where you're just I'm gonna pass by, look at the house, and I get what I need from that and leave?
Well, she had to because she's ridiculous.
Yeah, she says it herself. But I mean, even in this situation, she did egg somebody on to go to his front door. So, there you go. It wasn't just to see it.
You weren't involved.
You don't understand.
No, not at all.
This is an issue that affects all human beings. And the fact that somebody has an opinion that is against fetus deletus, you need to take action against that. That's how Gandhi did his thing against the British. It's like that, but more important.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's all in all, forgetting about maybe thinking that YouTube automatically thinking, because I mean, again, we're on YouTube, that we're just completely, no matter what he did, we would be on his side or something. No, it's just the idea that we can't pull his politics into this and say he's not justified because this is so disagreeable to people or something like that. I don't even think people that vehemently disagree that to the extent this should be acting like this. They should not be showing up to somebody's house, even if it was somebody that this person would have to be an actual diddler. This person would have to be an actual let's leave those words alone, I suppose, for sake of TOS, but somebody that's actually done violent acts against people that are incredibly aggressive and just deserve to be put at the lowest of society because they actually are objectively monsters. But for somebody to make a tweet, goes against really what it means to have any sort of freedom when it comes to what you can say. I mean, obviously people are like, oh, well, freedom of speech doesn't equal freedom of consequences. Well, you can also be acting like a terrible person, and it also doesn't mean you get to harass or assault a person over that either, because then you are the one that's doing something wrong. It's ridiculous, man.
I mean, at this point, I'm more just kind of amazed that that's that out of all the views that he's espoused over the years, that's the one that got him into a situation like this.
Yeah,
That's kind of crazy.
that
Like,
too. Actually, you're right. You're right.
I mean, I'm not gonna go down the list, but I mean, he said some stuff that, well, I'm not gonna go down the list. He said some stuff that most people would assume, to at least to some rational degree, are much more off-putting by the current zeitgeist of what's okay, or in general, as opposed to abortion, which, I mean, depending on how you slice it, half the country is against anyway. So it's like, what? Why is this the thing?
Toothpaste is putting up having sex with women is gay is the quote.
Because he said a lot of stuff like that from what I
feel like he has said that from what I recall. It's been like, well, ones that I can remember specifically being a girl dad is gay. Being like, you know, basically, I don't think he said loving your wife, but basically like, you know, I forgot the exact phrasing, but basically being the wife guy is also gay. Liking the wife jack meme is gay. I think he actually did say something like having sex with women is gay. I don't know if he meant outside of the context of marriage, probably, if I were to pinpoint what I think he's probably talking about. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to keep going.
I don't know. Can you just stay here? I'm going to try to make sure she's okay.
Sure, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. I saw the
So, okay, can you just tell me really quick so I can go see if she's okay?
She went and pushed the doorbell. He opened the door, which was surprising. She didn't say a word. He came out with his full body, both arms, pushed her back. She fell off. There's 3 steps. She fell off onto the ground. She's trying to get up, and as she's getting up, she has the phone in her hand. He grabs it. He's going back up the stairs to his front door. He slams the phone down, and the phone went in the house.
Okay, and then he went inside?
And then he went inside.
Okay.
I tried to get her a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really refute because I didn't see the exact video. I mean, like, we saw the video, but we didn't see every detail from the perspective of the phone. It was like some of it was like just blurry or covered up. So what she's telling seems like it definitely could be what you get from watching it as far as what likely happened. So I'll just say that it did. Not 100% every detail, but you know, we'll kind of just leave it at that as far as analysis of the situation, I suppose, for now.
How are you? You live here? Yeah. Okay. So I'll talk to you guys separate. You know, right? Can we walk across the street to my car?
Can you get my phone? Can you get my phone?
Where's your phone? Please don't go inside, man. All right. I'm kind of figure out it's about a post or something, right? Give me a second. Just stay over. Right?
Could I have my phone?
Yeah. Can we walk across to make sure there's no cars?
What's that? Yeah.
I'll just make sure there's no cars.
Also, like, he didn't even delete the video. You would think that if he were trying to hide all of it or something, that he thinks like, you know, what he did was actually wrong, and at the end of the day, or like that it's actually something that, you know, that shouldn't have taken place or something, or that he thinks he's going to get in trouble for. You would think he would delete it. No.
That's what I was thinking the entire time too. Like, once he took the phone, how was this video up?
Yeah, because he didn't delete it.
Yeah. Strange.
We have somebody saying there is another person that I don't know if you're talking about the one that Nick had tweeted about a couple hours ago. Another person with a weapon. I don't know if you're talking about that or what. I'm going to check his Twitter to see, because I do have footage that he just posted at 3:18 p.m. Eastern, where he was talking about somebody at his door. Because this lady wasn't, to our knowledge, she didn't have a weapon. She was just showing up at his house. He didn't know. But yeah, the latest thing I'm seeing from him is that there was and this man actually did, to my understanding from what Nick was saying, that man actually did commit some acts of atrocity before going to Nick's place. I don't know how much I can actually, you know, how much you can say on YouTube. I guess just keep it light if I do. Yeah, I guess I could just read that out. I guess we'll come back to that thread that he made about it, but basically this would-be assassin, as he said, has committed, like, according to police, committed a triple homicide in Southern Illinois early yesterday before he arrived to Nick's doorstep with his pistol drawn, calling Nick's name. So if you're talking about that person, then we already, you said, yeah. Okay. So, how did that guy perish? I would take it the police, but, let me see. because that gunman broke into a neighbor's home. Huh?
I like you have to maneuver around basic vocabulary just to get around the YouTube bullshit.
I just don't want to get like really restricted over it. But I think it's pretty obvious what I'm saying.
No, it is. It's just the fact that you have to do that is kind of ridiculous.
Because they don't like words like, SA or, and honestly, when you start talking about weapons and stuff, they start to get, I mean, you could say gun, I'm sure, but, once you start to talk about a lot of this, you start putting up, you start triggering them.
As long as you check the box where it's like, this is not for kids, it should be like open. Like, I mean, obviously some rules, but I mean, I
just don't want to get terminated in the algorithm.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I hope if this is too much for you guys, as far as like me not getting my point across, like I could try and tread the line a little bit more.
No, dude, you're fine. I'm just, the situation of it is just kind of fucking ridiculous.
What's up, Austin, from last stream? Nice to see you back. And so this is that Yohei or Yo? Do you know how to say this name?
Yohei M.
Yeah. Yohei. That's what we're gonna call you. You asked if that man died, the gunman that showed up to his house. I can't tell if that was last night or today. Let's see. Last night, yeah. That one did die. And then let me see. Broke into the neighbor's home to evade police and killed 2 of the neighbor's dogs. Let's see. I don't know if he said actually how that man died.
Do we know the demographic details of this individual?
I'm going to have to pull up the video for you to see, but the man is of not a dark complexion. I mean, I can just show you right here. That's what the man looks like. Oh, yeah.
Simultaneously expected and unexpected.
I mean, he's probably some it could be like a white liberal, That's
what I was thinking, like that, Antifa type.
Yeah, exactly. Those types that are like, they want to, be the white knights.
Because even like, even with Nick Fuentes' views, you don't really, unless they're like chronically online in terms of politics, you don't really see a lot of minorities that care that much about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Minorities, can I say that? Is that outdated now? What do I gotta say now?
Minorities is outdated? That's crazy. Let's see. Toothless Space says, if you say sewer slide, sewer slide. I think I have to be a little, but I have used that before. Sewer slide by cop, or I don't, homicide. Okay, we get the idea without the algorithm detecting it. Okay, jaw. Yeah, Austin, not much what's popping. Yeah, not much, man. We're just talking about this Nick Fuentes situation, both the thing that happened about a month ago and the recent thing that just happened last night where there was a gunman at his door. And so let's see, what testosterone and chromosomes did they have? I mean, this is probably, from what I can see, a male. Likely, that's, I mean, I would also take it that if you were a gunman, likely you're a male, except for, we did have that recent event with a female. And so, that that happened too. I don't really want to talk about that one though, just because, we don't need to give that light of day, honestly, really. Not much relevant to talk about, I guess, aside from the fact that RFH was actually mentioned by that woman that committed that event. There was a femcel that did a tragedy, and RFH was actually like in the manifesto. And then RFH went deactivated her account after that on Twitter. It's crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
It is crazy. Let's see. Yeah, did someone try to off Nick Fuentes is what Austin's asking? Yes. And we will watch that after we watch this footage. We're going to get to that. I'm sure I answered that in the middle of when you were asking that, but we're just going to watch this body cam footage from the event where he allegedly pepper sprayed a woman. We're figuring out what happened that day. We actually have went quite over, what we can see in the actual footage, but this is just sort of the aftermath, seeing how Nick responds and everything like that, seeing how the woman talks to the police versus, how she was saying the event went down after the fact.
Is it muted?
Oh, I don't know if it disconnected hold on. Let me try adding it back. Because yeah, when I flipped to the other video, it said like your audio was disconnected. So, or my audio, it was telling me that. Hold on, my bad. Let's see. But the playback's a lot better, right, than it was before.
For sure.
That's good to hear. Is it like good enough, like to be called like a decent quality?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. We have Kiss the Sky saying liberals are rabid clowns. Well, as you can see in more than one instance, honestly, like, it's a month ago and just last night, you can see that, yeah.
Hey, gay? Oh.
You can hear now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so what happened?
Okay, so I'm just asking, this is important for you to realize. Are you sure to it? His name is Nick Fuentes, and he
He's got
was...
those fucking pins on. She's got all those pins on.
Oh, I can't actually see her right now, but I know
he
what you
was
mean.
on his very popular YouTube channel talking about how after Trump won...
Well, YouTube channel. YouTube. On his YouTube channel.
To women everywhere, basically. Your body, my choice.
Okay, yeah,
so
I got kind of somebody that kind of doing this.
So there are a lot of people who are doxing him because he basically threatened every woman and their daughters.
How?
By saying, your body, my choice. I don't care how he votes. I mean...
Well, it kind of bothered you, right?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I know a lot of Republicans...
She's saying it doesn't matter whether it bothered her or not, but why does it matter whether he has these opinions as far as why you show up at his doorstep? What a thought of what a thought train. What a thought process. Threatened is a bit much. Yeah. It actually is. It's words, and it's not even words implicating that he's going to do something to somebody. So,
Favorite office Republican. Yeah. So my point is that is a threatening statement, and there are a lot of people who are upset about it.
Yeah.
I came by here because I live in Berwyn. I live on the south side. Okay. And I came to do a little video because my friends keep saying, he lives in your town. Yeah. So I went outside and did a little video. Ring him, a friend, what's that? In front of his house? Like, yeah. His house? On the sidewalk. Yeah. Okay.
And what was the reason for that?
Because I wanted to show people that there was no, there were no, people are making claims that they're going to send deliveries to him of like dog food and stuff. And I was showing there are no boxes of that there.
Yeah, she's claiming that her reason for showing up was that people had put the claim. There was a claim that there were people putting like dog shit in front of his door, and then she's saying I was showing up to show that they weren't. Is her claim?
What?
And so driving by said ring his doorbell and say hello. So there are no signs on there saying anything about no solicitors. Okay. So I rang the doorbell.
I like how the cop goes like, okay.
Immediately opened the door, sprayed me with pepper spray, and pushed me down the steps.
You sprayed you with pepper spray?
Yes, he did.
And it got in your eyes?
Yes. On my face.
Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to call an ambulance to make sure you're... No, but I want you to get checked out.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, but she was saying after the fact on Facebook that the cop was asking her, like, when she was saying, like, pressing charges or something, basically for what? And the whole point was that, basically trying to say the cops were just acting as if nothing happened. But you see that, and you're going to see, he's going to ask her about filing a report. He never said, like, to my knowledge, I watched the video yesterday and I don't recall him at all saying that. For what? For what? There was no instance of that I saw. I mean, we can rewatch, but I didn't hear that.
Can you roll an ambulance this way?
And also, this is dated November 10th. So the video came I saw the other video that she had released, like one of the people putting it on Twitter. It came out on the 12th, but this happened on the 10th of November.
Where she's stating that she got pepper spray in the face. Okay. Okay, so he opens the door.
He opened the door in the same movement. He sprayed me and pushed me down the steps.
And you
fell
onto
backwards. What? I fell onto the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, I see all our pins.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Kind of rolled. He grabbed my phone and went back inside.
He grabbed the phone and went inside his house?
Yes. And we've been waiting for the police ever since. So.
Oh, okay. You didn't call for the police, right? It was
a woman who was here called.
Okay, do you have an ID, ma'am? Can I ask the reason why you would come here to begin with?
Well, I mean,
to me, I know about the social post now. I mean, she told me about it. The lady that shot. It doesn't seem like a good idea to come to somebody's house and just, I mean, based on I get the post might upset you, and it might be something that you don't agree with, but to go in somebody's house is kind of over the top.
I understand that. At the same time, if somebody comes to my door who's upset with me and I don't know anything about them being violent or anything like that, I don't open the door, pepper spray them, and push them down the steps.
What's your phone number?
Yeah, she's basing it on what she would do, and also not really even basing it on the level of harassment that Nick has been facing. Again, not contextualizing any of it.
She kind of just dodged like his point entirely and just accepted the premise that she already went with, and then went from there said, well, but look what happened when I did the exact thing you recommended me not to do. I wouldn't do that if somebody did the exact thing you recommended me not to do.
Toothless is saying that she looks like a lib North Korean general with the pins.
Nobody should have that many pins if you're not in like middle school. Like, god damn.
So what would you like done in this situation?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of liberals have more of these like childhood aesthetics, you know? What's with that?
I think you're digging into something.
You're digging at me.
I want to file some sort of complaint.
A complaint as in
assault?
Well,
okay, wait, hold on. Let me go back for a second, because I think that's what she was claiming he was saying for what for, because she was saying I want to claim, like, I want to file a charge or something like that, and then he said for what, like, you know, basically asking her, you know, what she meant, like, to clarify. Yeah. To clarify, like, what would you file that for? And she took that for, like, she took that as, like, he doesn't even acknowledge that anything happened to me.
What the fuck?
I want to file some sort of complaint.
A complaint as in
assault?
Well,
no, see, so actually she said I'd like to file a complaint, and then he said complaint as in a what? So she said complaint, not I want to press charges. I want to file a complaint. And then he says complaint as in what? He didn't even say for what. He just said complaint as in what? He's trying to clarify why she's phrasing it that way, because it wouldn't be a complaint at that point. I mean, if this were, you know, what it were for, I think he understands that, you know, you can file a complaint, but, you know, this is I take it that you could, right? I don't know. I mean, usually that would be like against an officer, no, or something, but, you know, if you're complaining about something, but and maybe that's even what threw him off guard. I don't know. But basically, you know, you against a civilian, you'd be filing or you'd be pressing charges. So I think that's what confused him. And so he's like, you know, complaint as in what? You know, I mean, honestly, here, just objectively looking at this, it's a sensible question for him to be confused about what she's asking. And it's not even, I don't even think you could take this as in, like, you know, the way she was trying to phrase it after the fact.
The report, or you're trying to get him arrested?
I don't really care. What do you advise?
No, I can't advise you on that. The only way that if I had to still speak with him, I'm trying to get all your side, and then we'll make a decision after we speak to both parties. But if this might end up just being a report, but would you want to sign complaints? You have to actually go to court against them and send court against them.
I don't care. That's fine.
So do you want to sign complaints to get them arrested? That's what I'm asking.
Do I have to make the decision the second?
Well, if you're not sure right now, what we do is I would talk to him. I would make a report. You would get checked out by the ambulance, and then the detectives would have to get involved. And then you could choose to figure it out, talk to whoever you need to talk to. I would recommend not talk to social media people because they're going to tell you completely different things. But talk to whoever you need to talk to personally, like if you have a spouse or whatever, and then you can make a decision later. Okay. Is that what you want to do now? I would still make a report.
Yeah, I'll make a report.
Just a report?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Susie, just do me a favor. Regardless of what happens here today, I'm just going to give you a report. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to get his side of the story. Yeah. It's going to be a report, but please, just don't show up at his house.
And then, he just reemphasizes that.
That's totally up to you, but come here.
Yeah, that's fine.
You open the door, he sprayed you with a
sprayed me, pushed me,
grabbed your phone, went inside,
inside,
and then came back out when I came.
Shortly after you did, correct.
With both hands? How do you push with both hands?
I believe so, yeah.
It was kind of you were right in front of the door?
Yeah, I just rang the doorbell.
Yeah, so you're right by where the doorbell is in the door?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
I fell backwards.
To where?
In front of the ADT sign, sidewalk.
Okay, on the floor.
Yes.
And then you got back up.
Yeah, and he had taken my phone. Yeah.
All right, kind of got your story. Please, just do me a favor, just stand over here.
I'm
going to get inside, and then I'll give you a report number as soon as the ambulance is going to...
She also definitely is like one of the types, because she was talking about whether or not he's gonna or whether or not the charges are gonna be pressed or whatever. She's like, oh yeah, what, like, are you trying to, like, you know, get him arrested for this, whatever. She's like, yeah, whatever, like trying to get him, you know, taken away. She's under the same like sort of mindset that people just ought to be arrested as soon as you don't like what they're doing. Like, oh, this person did something I didn't like, take him away. She thinks like, you know, yeah, I'll just tell the cops and he'll do it. I mean, that's, you see this, man. It's crazy. She doesn't even care about the guy talking to him. She's just thinking, yeah, he's going to take him away. That's great.
So pull up now.
Okay.
You can hear them. You're going to check your eyes. You can sign a medical refusal, and then you don't have to go with them, but I do want them to check your eyes out, okay? Give me a second. Okay, so I'm getting a couple things about, you do it here, man? I don't want to always do it back.
She's gonna.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm just doing it here.
Let's do it here.
Come on, man. I don't want to.
Why?
Huh? I don't want to argue with you.
I want to go in the backyard where she can't have a line of sight.
Well, she's not even.
No, but she could. So
Nick, I don't want. I'm trying to
go to the backyard.
Nick,
why
but
does she
is your
wanna
Nick?
go to the
Is your name Nick?
Yes.
Okay, Nick. I'm trying to get your side of the story, and by you acting like this is not helping, man. I got two sides, two stories, and I'm trying to just kind of find the middle ground.
Well, let me take your card because I'm not doing an interview.
Huh?
What I'm going to tell you is this.
Well, I heard they're targeting your house.
Yes. I've been
About
harassed
social
for the past
media.
4 days.
Okay, and what is that about?
I posted a joke on the internet. I'm a live streamer.
Oh,
And so real quick, what we're seeing here is that Nick was first of all just trying to get, you know, the cop to take it to the backyard, because he's like, I don't, you know, want her basically there while we're doing this here. But also he said, you know, and he wasn't even fighting with the cop. He was just, you know, he was just telling him like, you know, I wouldn't like to do it here, but he anyways, you know, when the cop is not going to take it back, he's like, all right, fine, we'll just do it here. But yeah, he's also like refusing, which is good, to tell the cops what happened here. And you're going to see that the cop is going to try and get him still to tell him what happened, as they do. But smart move to just, you know, go through your attorney. And, you know, really, like, cops, like, you know, you know, whatever the case may be. And obviously, like, you know, they want to make it seem like, okay, we're on the homeowner's side because, you know, this is a complaint against a homeowner. And so, like, or, you know, a resident of a house. And so, you know, like, he wants to make it seem, and you'll see the way he talks to Nick, he's going to make him seem like, oh, well, you know, we should be on your side, man. So we just need you to tell us what's happening here. And otherwise it may sound like you're not giving us, you know, like, the information for a reason or something like that. Like, you'll hear it, but pretty much the idea being that Nick is not going to fall for that, you know, and you guys shouldn't either. If there's any sort of situation, honestly, where there's something like this, just go through your attorney, because, you know, they can twist your words. And even if they want it to seem like they're on your side, which they will do, you know, anyway, whenever they want information, it doesn't really mean they actually have a side. They just want to get information. And sometimes they even want to just get you twisted up on your words and take you in for that. So honestly, yeah, just don't fall for that, guys. No matter how nice the cops seem or anything like that, you just don't want to do that. We have Austin commenting literal caricature about whatever her face was, the lady. Yeah. We got Righty Tighty in here. What's up, man? All right. Let's see. Toothless is saying that she probably thinks she's a martyr for getting sprayed. Yeah, probably. The way she was posting on Facebook about it after. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at the rest of this conversation.
You're like a YouTube channel or something?
Yeah.
You're saying you're a white supremacist?
I'm not white supremacist. I'm actually Nick Fuentes.
I know. I kind of.
And see, you know, there were actually people cooking him over this on social media. You know, obviously, like, his side of things, and also people just wanting to mock him over it, because if you could hear what he was saying, which I can just slow it back down. But what he just said there, and I'll just back it up a few seconds, but he's like, I'm not a white supremacist. I'm Mexican. My last name's Fuentes. I mean, obviously he's going to tell that to the cop, because he's not trying to, because he actually did make a clip after where he's like, yeah, I should have, as he puts it, race pilled the cop, and said that he is a white supremacist, because he's like, yeah, that's just a smart move to do. Like, you know, jokingly, I mean, he's right. Even if he held those positions, why the hell would you be like, you know, yeah, I do believe these things, and that I'm being said that, you know, like, I believe, and, you know, those are, even if he has a more nuanced view, whatever that may be, to put a label like that on this already doesn't give him a good look. So, I mean, smart move to not just go saying that, even if that were a label that he were to attribute to himself. yeah, it's just overall, it's wise decision making on his end. And, you know, people were saying he was also trying to get like the cop sympathy on, like, you know, on his side, because like the cop obviously does sound Hispanic too. And, you know, he does have the last name Fuentes, so he can just kind of pull that card when he needs to. I mean, honestly, you know, why not, right? Why not if you need to? Smart move.
And I'm a live streamer.
You're like a YouTube channel or something?
Yeah.
You're saying you're a white supremacist?
I'm not white. I'm actually SH Fuentes.
I know. I saw that. Okay, but I mean, you know, it's 2024, man. You make one bad joke.
And see, the cop, you know, it does sound like he's on his side, but he definitely is using that to get the information from him. Like, he's like, yo, man, come on, you know, like I'm, you know, like I understand your point of view, man. Like it's 2024. People freak out over this stuff. He's trying to seem like, okay, yeah, I'm not too into the woke stuff either, man. You can tell me what happened, you know.
This happens, especially right now at the Trump one, man.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but
it's a very political thing to say.
we also live in a free country where you can speak without people showing up.
Yeah.
And trying to hurt you.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's across the street. Yeah.
She's the one on her phone?
Yeah, she's the one on her phone.
What's the story?
Apparently, well, what I'm getting is this guy over here is made a bad joke online, and now people are targeting his house. This lady, as you know, she came over here, rang a doorbell. Apparently, he sprayed her with.
And you also can't really like prove intent with a tweet that isn't like a threat. You know what I mean? I mean, so like, why also at the same time would he, even if it weren't a joke, why would he say, yeah, that wasn't a joke. I was serious. You know, I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't think he's necessarily doing that. I'm just saying that if that were what was going on in his mind, I don't think he'd necessarily just be smart for saying that. We have Toothless asking, they sent an ambulance, LMAO. Well, the cop was saying like it's because, you know, they want to check her out. I guess that's just their way of doing it. They send an EMT to look at her face, make sure there's no like issues with the post spray, and it probably helps, you know, as far as collecting information about what happened.
Why
you know.
would anybody want to check that out?
Yeah, that's a great question too.
Mace in the eyes and push her down the stairs. So she just wants to report. So like for now, I'm just gonna get his side of the story. I guess she fell into the concrete. I make sure she's okay. And then her eyes, apparently she has pepper spray. Huh? No, that's what she's claiming. So I'm gonna speak to
yeah, and I mean they would probably be more able to tell than the cop anyway, as far as like whether she was actually sprayed or not. So that probably gives them like more evidence one way or the other. So I mean, not the worst thing ever, you know, because that could be used, but you know, even by your attorney.
Other party here and see what happened. Yeah. Hey man, did you spray her with pepper spray?
I'm not doing an interview right now.
And good thing. He said, I'm not doing an interview. He's not going to answer this. And great. Don't do that. Don't do that. And see, that's where some people may actually trip up, I think, because like they may be like, well, I'm not going to tell the cops anything. But then if they're like, well, did you use pepper spray? Oh yeah, this is what I use. And just show them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't do that. I mean, you don't have to answer that.
All I'm going to say is I'm going to take your card and my defense attorney will get in touch with you. Not doing
this is a report. I'm not.
See, and the cop's like, this is a report. So he's trying to get him to give up the information. Nick knows he doesn't have to do it. This is again, good. Like, I mean, seriously, like it is a really good handling of this situation. I will say.
So, all I'm going to say is I'm a high profile person. I want someone stationed here. 20 people came by last night. I had paid.
Yeah. And he doesn't even have to be saying what he's saying. Like Toothless is saying here, only thing you should say to a cop is I want to talk to my lawyer. Yeah. Even if they arrest you, which they actually did end up taking him in, but it was like after the fact. You really just don't tell them things because it can be used against you. I mean, it's like just have your attorney word it the best way possible and make good cases for, you know, what's going on. We have Humvee in here. What's up, man? How you doing? Nick is also not black. So is that to say that you could be of any ethnicity and, you know, therefore you could be like white supremacist? But then a black person can't. I actually don't know what the implication is there with that. I'm genuinely asking.
Yeah, I'm lost. Oh shit! Speaking of Humvee, well, never mind.
It's secure. They documented all of it. I called. They're coming tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay. I can't afford to have it 24 hours. I called earlier
And
because
it's smart
somebody
to have
else
them at night too. I mean, obviously that is a riskier time.
was in.
And he did put up like a link for people to be contributing to him. And the crazy part is he can't even accept anything that isn't crypto because he's been banned from, he's like been debanked. I mean, it just straight up, he's been debanked. And so he can only use crypto to accept payments. And so that is what he's using to collect for that. That if you think that he is worth supporting in that respect, there you go. That's that information. I'll be saying cops are not beating him because he is in black. Okay. Let's see.
To my house. Cops drove by.
Actually, did you watch the video of the old guy that shot down that drone? And then like the cops like take him in, like they put the handcuffs on him. And he's like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah,
the cops
funny
start
stuff.
like cracking up too.
Yeah, the cops are laughing too about it.
Saw the car that I reported with the license plate, make and model, and they didn't even stop.
Okay.
And the lady stood there filming my house, pointing at my house, gesturing to it. This has been going on for the past 3 days.
And so we have Austin saying there are black right wingers. LOL. Yeah, I mean there are. I was just trying to figure out what the implication was with that other thing. The other comment, just seeing like what was being said there. I mean, yeah, you can be.
Days, I've been calling the police. Clearly, no one's taking it seriously.
You're not hurt or anything, are you?
No, I'm over.
Yeah, thank you. Look, man, like to be honest, I'm trying to talk to you, get your side of the story
I know.
for the whole thing. I'm not.
You're not here to help me. I know.
Well, I'm not here to help you.
No.
And that's, I mean, you know, so be it. You know, you tell them that if you want to. I mean, that doesn't really hurt you anyway. I mean, honestly, I mean, the cops can start acting like pieces of trash because of that. You ask them that, but and there are cases where, you know, like saying things that the cops don't like, they can start reacting negatively because of it. But obviously, legally speaking, you know, he is within his right to say that they're not helping. He's within his right to not talk to them. And I think he's right to say that they're not actually on his side, because again, you don't know that. You don't know what they're trying to get out of this. I mean, you know, again, like the way you word the information can be used against you rather than what actually happened. And so even if the cop's telling you, look, man, you know, we're trying to get your side of the story, you know, it's going to look bad if you don't tell us anything, don't fall for it.
I just got here. How do you know I'm here to help
I
you
know
or
my
not?
rights. I'm not trying to fight with you, but I'm also not going to be telling you.
And see, he's not even trying to escalate the situation. He's saying, I'm not trying to fight with you. So I mean, there you go.
I want your card.
I was
My
okay.
defense
Look,
attorney will call you.
you mind if I just say something right quick?
Go ahead. Sure.
First of all, I might have to get your information.
Sure.
That's you have to provide that
Yeah,
because there
of
was a
course.
crime committed.
Yes.
All right. So second of all, from what I get, I don't care really. I don't care what you said online.
And you also are like compelled by, you know, legal authorities to, you know, give information as far as your actual identity. But other than that, no. I mean, you don't have to tell them about, you know, what Nick is withholding. He's within it, you know, like within the purview of the law, he can withhold that.
It's literally like a trope in like mob movies and shit like that for a reason. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy that a lot of people don't think about it for, well, I'm not guilty. I don't have to tell them. There's nothing
Yeah.
I have to withhold, but it's like
Yeah.
you're not doing yourself any favor, even if you are innocent. So,
You know, I actually saw this video of like a black guy in his car, and then the cop was like, hey man, like, you mind if I like search your vehicle? And then there was like some other guy, like another black guy seeing it. He's like, hey man, don't say that. Don't say yes. Just say, you know, like, I do not consent to a search. And the guy's like, I do not consent to a search. And the cop's like, that's totally cool, man. Because he was about to get fucked over by the cop. It's crazy. They even plant stuff, but you know, obviously just unless they're like, we have to do this because, you know, like warrant or like isn't like, if they have
Probable
reasonable
cause.
suspicion, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
like probable cause, then, you know, you can't really do much about it, and then you'd be resisting and you're going to get in trouble because of it. You know, be it as it may, that's what it is, you know, because they have control over what they do and don't do to you, so you can't really fight that and win, you know.
I really don't care whether it was left leaning, right leaning, in the middle. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, and to me, no. Now, I would hate if I was living here, whether I made a bad joke intentionally, whether I meant it or not, and somebody would show up to my house. That's kind of like wrong, right?
Uh-huh.
Can we agree on that? I'm actually agreeing with you that people shouldn't show up to your house.
And he's trying to play good cop here.
But now you don't want to cooperate with me. You don't want to ask. Okay? Now I'm trying to get whether she actually did anything to prevent to provoke you to pepper spray her and push her down the stairs. Those are bad allegations. So I'm trying to get your side of the story. If you don't tell me anything, I'm gonna say you want to cooperate, but they don't want to ask you a question.
Here's my side story. I'm here for my life.
What'd she say on the radio? It sounded like I am retarded.
I heard that too.
They want to cooperate, but they don't want to ask you a question.
Here's my side story.
You heard her, right? I mean, she's saying something else, but it sounds like I am retarded.
I'm here for my life.
I mean, she's a woman cop, I take it, right? So, I mean, that just goes without saying.
Man, you're just really pushing the limit.
Well, I'm just saying, look up, what was the guy's name? The lady with the taser. I'm just saying. If I act black enough to let me say it.
3 days telling me they're coming to kill me. They're coming.
No, it's just black comedian, you know, like in general black comedian. I'm just saying. Gotcha.
Oh,
that's Kanye. Gotcha.
Goddamn. Oh, what was her character? Dee's character? I'm just playing that shit. The fucking Puerto Rican woman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that was like Martina Martinez or whatever. But you know, the one where Kanye is like, you ain't never gonna see this again, where they could drop somebody over like on $1 billion deal over a tweet. Gotcha. He says that after they dropped him and he actually wanted out of the contract. It's crazy. Okay.
Gonna rape me. I have all screenshots.
Oh, you said it, Nick. You said it. You know we can't stream that word. It's a good thing I like cut like into it, so at least it's like probably not as bad.
Wait.
Showing how
said what?
He said R word. He was like, people saying they want to R word me. I have screenshots of it.
People were saying that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They were angry at him as over saying your body, my choice, and they want to R word him. That's a little hypocritical, don't you think, sir?
Get to my house, and I have people showing up all day, and that's my side of the story. So
with her,
my life, I haven't slept for a few days. I've got nowhere to go. That's my side of the story.
Okay, with her, did you push it on the stairs?
At 1446.
No comment on that.
No comment.
Did you pepper spray her or anything?
No comment. Could you give me your card?
I don't have a card, but let me get your ID.
Okay. You don't have a card?
No, I don't have a card.
Do you have a card? No? You don't carry cards?
Nope.
And they're just taking out his information.
No beef.
No, stop. No. All right. I know you don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, it's no beef.
No,
stop.
No, I don't take it personal either. What I was trying to say is,
Yeah, actually, Toothless does bring up a good point. He shouldn't have said he hasn't slept for a few days, already messing up. That is a bit of a mess up there.
I was thinking about that when he said that too. When he starts saying, "I've had this, that, and the other happen," that already, even though it seems like it's in your favor, it could easily be twisted.
Yeah, because I mean, already you could use like, I don't know how much of this as like in court how much you could use, but you could say like, this person clearly was displaying signs of perhaps not having the best judgment, not just because of the sleep, but the other things like, all of that culminating into perhaps understanding that he made an irrational decision.
Yeah, it could go
Something
either
along
way
those lines.
for sure, depending on how you present it. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. But yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, just don't speak to them, honestly.
wasn't taking sides. I don't take her side. I don't take your side.
I know.
I'm pretty right down the middle. Okay. So, right for now, with you not making any comments, I would have to take your side. Well, at least for now, I'm gonna go speak to her. So, you don't want to talk to me about anything I have to do today. No. All right, just stay right here, please, with him. I'm gonna give me like.
Hold on. Let me like go back over what he said.
I'm gonna go speak to her. So, with you not making any comments, I would have to take your side. Well.
He said without you making any comments, I would have to take her side. I'm hearing that right? Because that's what I heard last night. But are you hearing that too?
He's a fucking cop.
I know. He's saying I don't take either side, but without you saying anything, I'm going to have to take her side. That's what I'm hearing. Hold on. Let's hear it again.
Right, for now, with you not making any comments, I would have to take your side. Well,
without you making any comments, I would have to take her side. You hear that?
That's
or
what
do you
it
hear
sounds
I
like,
would
yeah.
Okay. Well, see, that's the thing. He's trying to get him to scared enough to say something. And so it's not, and he just said, like, I'm not on either side. I'm down the middle or whatever. But yeah, he's not supposed to take any side. And so now he's trying to make it seem he's actually using a manipulation tactic of saying, like, well, you know, if you don't tell me anything, then, you know, I can only go on what she said, you know, but you know what that means. That means that it's going to look bad for you. And thus, you know, if you don't tell me anything now, you know, it's not going to be good, man. You're not looking at anything good if you don't tell me anything. You know, if you tell me something, I can help you, but if not, and that's exactly how they'll get you, because they're trying. I mean, if let's say you're in an interrogation room, they'll do that too, where it's like, look, man, if you don't tell me anything, I can't help you get out of this, but look, we can help you. We can help you. That's how they do it.
That's another fucking movie trope. People,
Yeah.
listen to the movies for this exact thing, at least.
Yeah. Let's see. Austin says Cop L. Common. It's common.
at least for now, I'm gonna go speak to her. So you don't want to talk to me about anything that happened here today. No. All right, just stay right here, please, with him. I'm gonna give me like 5 minutes and we'll be done. Just gonna talk to her real quick.
Is that somebody you know? Just a random person?
Random person. People come in here all weekend.
So what did she say?
She's standing out there filming my house saying, this is neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes, my address, my phone number. Some other lady pulls up also to harass me. Says, oh, someone's already here. They're both here to harass me.
Well, here's what I'll recommend. I don't know who's right or wrong here. I don't know.
And Toothless is saying all we're missing is the other cop to play the bad cop. You know, the cop is doing a little bit of both, where he's like switching. He's like, yeah, man, I'm here to help you. But then he's almost like insinuating something bad can happen. He's not really going like full bad cop or anything, but he's like getting there. I don't know. But yeah, it's he's trying to use a little bit of that tactic without making it out to be like complete bad cop, because then, you know, that could, you know, obviously sway opinions and stuff. But even though they try to get people that don't know much about it to be on the jury.
Know what your post was. I heard about it. I don't know what it is. I don't follow that. I'm old. I'm not really on social media.
I don't know if the cops even think that far ahead, though. I mean, you know, as far as like IQ standards for being a cop, I don't know if they think that far ahead.
But what I would do, unless there's literally imminent danger, like where you're.
And he's basically just saying, if there's imminent danger, call us and so on. And Nick is saying, I had security and I called you guys a bunch. Nick, I'm just going to go over what Nick says in the rest of this, because pretty much, I mean, we've watched most of the video. Nick is just saying that, yeah, I've called you guys many times. You didn't show up. Like literally, like one thing he says is that I called you guys. I told you the car that was a problem. And I don't think it was this car. I think it was another one that he was talking about. And I really do, from what I recall, remember that. And he was saying the cop saw the car that as I described it and just drove past it. So yeah, I mean, that really covers that video. And that was that incident, the one that has been talked about a lot as of late. But and what I was going to show as well was the gunman video that Nick had just posted about. And so did you have any thoughts just pertaining to this? And actually, did you want to pull up the Andrew Bronco thing? I think we pretty much got the understanding legally of this.
Yeah, no, I think we're good on that.
Yeah. Did you have any other input regarding this?
I just kind of give it as I see it. So if you say something interesting, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So this is what Nick tweeted today. Let me just go in one more time. Okay. Last night, an armed killer made an attempt on my life at my home, which was recently doxed on this platform. The gunman carried a pistol, crossbow, and incendiary devices. I believe he intended to off me. He is now dead. I am okay. According to police, the would-be assassin committed a triple homicide in Southern Illinois early yesterday before he arrived at my doorstep with his pistol drawn, calling my name. I wonder who he did that to. Like, actually, like I mean, that is wild, but I'm grateful to God that I am still alive today. And like I said earlier, he was trying to evade the police. He killed 2 dogs in a neighbor's home. It could have been unimaginably worse, according to Fuentes. God have mercy. Doxing is not a game. This nihilistic lynch mob behavior must end before anyone else is killed. Can I say the L word? Lynch? Yeah. We did say it when we were talking about Chris Lynch. Okay, so I don't know. I will now have to uproot my life and relocate. While I can handle whatever comes to my front door, it is irresponsible to expect my neighbors with young families to share that burden. In the meantime, I will have to contact 24-hour security to protect myself and my property. It's a good thing he's at least saying that he's relocating for the sake of people not targeting that same area anymore. And then he just talks about if anybody wants to contribute, because he's paying $13,000 a week for private security. And he said rebuilding a studio. Here's a donation link. And so I take it. I don't know if he's moving to another state. I don't know if he, I don't know if they can. I don't know if he can do that right now. I'm not sure. Regardless, he's relocating. And then he said he can only accept cryptocurrency because, yeah, he is banned from banking services and credit card processing. There you go. And then we have Austin saying "Rip Bozo." Damn crazy world. True. I mean, that is crazy when you espouse certain views online that are not actually like active threats of violence against people, calls to them, even not even just doing that, just saying your political opinions will get you targeted like this. We do have the actual video of the guy. I think there are two videos that he posted, and they're just about like 30 seconds a piece. I think one's 30 seconds and one's like 15. No, they're both 30 seconds. Thought I saw 15 or something somewhere. Anyway, 30-second videos. Let's switch to that. So he said the killer parked his car in front of my house and approached my door with his pistol drawn and what appears to be a crossbow. I was live streaming at the time. He rings the doorbell, tries the doorknob and yells, "Yo, Nick." Yep. Yeah, there's sound on the video. And I mean, this itself is wild. Like, look at this. Like, really, like, process what the fuck is happening here. Trying the doorbell. Okay, and then we're gonna go to this one. Tries opening the door. Oh, was that actually him? What the hell? I didn't expect that.
Yo, Nick.
Sounded like blacker than I thought he would. I don't know if that was just me. Maybe I'm a racist. And the thing is, like, we have Toothless saying he looks like a player in DayZ. We have John B. I don't think we've seen you in the stream before, but what's up, man? Time to cash in some Bitcoin and buy a ranch somewhere. So true. Bitcoin's gone up a lot, man. I unfortunately cashed some of it before the last jump from like 88,000 to like 100,000, somewhere around there. Yeah, that's unfortunate that I cashed in so soon, but I still have some that has been climbing since at least like, I want to say like 50. So, at least I got some left in Bitcoin. I don't plan on cashing that out. And honestly, if it dips, I'm going to buy as soon as it does. But yeah, smart idea. You don't want to be in these cities, man, especially. I mean, you don't want to be easy to locate. You don't want to be in these cities. Unfortunately, they make it, the state makes it so easy to locate you because, your address and everything, your voter record, it's all public information for people to just look up. Crazy. I don't know how you avoid getting doxxed. Like, your voter record's out there. Like, there's an address you vote from that is out there. You're like, just a lot of other, like, I'm sure there are other ways of finding you and your phone number and stuff. Like, how are people not just being doxxed as soon as they have any sort of opinion and their full names out there, right? Let's see. Why did he kill the dogs though? Sorry. What dogs ever do to him? I would say probably,
I'd imagine
yeah.
they'd probably attack once they notice like an unfamiliar caricature, and he probably kill them in
Exactly.
defense or silence them because they're barking too much, something like that.
Yeah, it's not really like, it is defense of himself in the situation against the dogs once they already attack him, but he himself caused the situation by going into the house, right? So yeah, he did kill the dogs like in a way that he shouldn't have, even though, you know, they were attacking him for good reason. He was in somebody's house uninvited, breaking into somebody's house to avoid the cops. And I guess he thinks he's Luigi or whatever. He's going to get away and eventually get caught at a McDonald's or something later on, and he at least gets some time away from jail. But yeah, that pretty much wraps that up on Nick's end of what's going on. Actually, I mean, there's comments and stuff.
Pretty upset about the dogs now.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. That actually is unfortunate. Dude, I mean, obviously, like he's saying, it could have been worse. Like, I mean, there could have been kids or like, you know, just adults or kids, like, you know, humans that could have died from this guy. I mean, this guy did kill like 3 people before he went there, which is also crazy. Who was he killing? Like, what? He was just making a pit stop.
I'm wondering, were the other killings politically motivated?
Yeah. I was wondering, like, is he making a pit stop? Were these other people that were like political streamers or something? That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe if I look up a news article or something, we can find out about this. I'm hoping we can find this guy's name so we can tell. So yeah, there is a news article saying Berwyn officers shoot and kill man wanted in triple homicide in downstate Illinois. Let's see. Man wanting for killing 3 people in central Illinois was shot and killed by police. I'm just going to read it out. I don't really need to stream the whole article because I don't know how much of it I'm actually going to read. But I'm reading from CBS News. 3 family members were shot and killed Thursday night. Wow, just like a family in Mahomet near Champaign. Hours later, the suspected gunman found himself in a shootout with police in Berwyn, about 140 miles north. Let's see. And of course, they have to include that Nick Fuentes is a white nationalist and HCOS denier. And actually, let's see. Police said the man not only killed 2 dogs. What? Oh, well, that's a weird way of phrasing it. They said they're not even quoting it. Let me actually show this because this is like weird writing happening here. Maybe they're just like pumping out these articles every 2 seconds. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this starting where I highlighted. What happened in between was frightening and bizarre. Police said, why is this video playing here? Police said the man not only killed 2 dogs, white nationalist and HCOS denier Nick Fuentes said. That's a
that's very odd phrasing.
Did he actually say that, or did they mean to put this somewhere else? You know, that's weird. Also, he's just kind of like jammed in there at an appropriate time. I think they might have just accidentally copy pasted this or something. I don't know. Also, just I like how that's just his intro. Like in this article, unrelated to him.
The first time they mention him.
Yeah, and it's not even an article about him. It's an article about the 3 people. And here they are saying it's the gunman, but it's also about the triple homicide he committed. And then, you know, the first thing they introduce him with is that this is who he is. I mean, that's just out of nowhere for people reading an article. You could say like controversial. Even I would take like far-right streamer, like controversial far-right streamer that I would take over just this word salad that you're creating here over this guy. Like that has, I mean, yeah, he was threatened by the guy too, but you know, did they actually mean, I don't know. They say that again here. I don't know if they meant to paste that here, but it's weird. In a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, white nationalist and HCOS denier Nick Fuentes posted a video in which he claims he was the intended target in Berwyn. Doorbell camera video in his post shows someone with a gun and what appears to be a crossbow outside Fuentes' home, and the timestamp on that video is about 10 minutes before police said they were called about lines. You know, and I don't know, is it like, do they phrase it that way because like they could be held somehow liable if that, like, are they just trying to avoid any sort of like fact stating to avoid any sort of liability? Because they're saying, and first of all, the guy's gone. Like, you know, who's gonna, I guess the family could say something, I don't know, but you know, I'm questioning here a video in which he claims he was the intended target. I mean, the guy said, "Yo, Nick," and was outside of his house with a gun. So and the guy had just killed 3 people. So I don't know what else you really need before you remove the he claims. But yeah, I don't know. Police have not connected Lyons to the incident at Fuentes' home. Lyons' motive for the shooting in Mahomet. Apparently he's saying, well, okay, I see what they're saying. So like the guy's Lyons, Nick was saying that the police were telling him that this was the guy. But then apparently here in this article, they're saying police have not connected him to the incident. So they're saying it may not be the same guy, apparently, because the police haven't told them so. But Nick was saying that they did. And this article is like from how long ago? Like a couple hours? I don't know, man. But yeah, it actually doesn't like he just killed a family or whatever. For some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't really explain. It doesn't seem like it actually was perhaps. And yeah, Toothless Pace says ChatGPT article probably, yeah. Because it reads like that. Let's see. He said 1 pronounced dead, other 2 in hospital, hopefully recovering. Okay. Well, so do you still call it like a triple homicide if it was like, there 2 people survived?
No, that would be a homicide and attempted homicide.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was, yeah. I don't know if they... It said for killing 3 people, though, in the article. It says killed 3 people, or killing 3 people.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are they just that bad at their own research? Or do they just kind of jump the gun?
Is this CBS? Dude, what the hell is going on with this CBS article? Like, is it the CBS article or what? I don't know. Chicago's Tribune also says fatally shoot man wanted for triple homicide. Triple homicide suspect killed by Bruin police. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But yeah.
Damn.
Okay, so that kind of wraps up what we were talking about there. Let me. Oh my god, dude! Why did our guest silence that person's notifications, their own notifications? I'm not trying to expose who the guest is. Okay, let me text.
Begin texting.
Okay.
So,
just trying to see, because this guest was part of our title, so we need to see. And then if not, we're just going to call the guest on the phone.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, he was looking at an earlier article. That's unfortunate then. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, because they were pronounced dead in the hospital. That makes sense. Anyway, Mr. Greg, turning it over to perhaps, I mean, it is something more lighthearted. Let's be a little more positive today.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that kind of threw me off for a bit. I was like, damn, this is just dark and depressing here.
Yeah.
Even aside from the whole like cop thing, like shit.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
You went to Miami.
I did. And you were supposed to show up, and you didn't.
Was I
and
supposed
you did
to?
not.
Not supposed
you literally told me, we'll buy the tickets, we'll figure out the rest later, and you didn't buy the ticket.
I didn't buy the ticket. I did say I'll buy the ticket, and I didn't buy the ticket.
Jesus. Anyway. Trying to think of where to start with this. So, me, the person, Mr. Greg Atkins, one with a specific taste for I mean,
Humvee Sun Miami's ass.
It kind of is.
Well, you see a lot of ass there, a lot of BBLs.
I don't think I did this time.
Really?
I don't think I saw one. Yeah,
for context, Greg and I, and plus our boy Bro and Steven. Steven. Yeah, Steven was there. We went to Miami.
Hey guys.
Steven here.
Steven here.
We never watched that full video on stream.
We can't.
Why not?
Because it says the thing, the
The thing?
word.
What do you mean the thing?
Or are you talking about the original video?
Oh, no. The original. We already watched the other one, but you censored the N-word. I'm talking about the original Steven video.
Oh.
The Steven here context video. But we could just watch that after you're done with Miami.
Actually, you know what? Let's do it now. Because now, if you have it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can pull it up in like 2 seconds. Well, a little longer than 2 seconds, but less than a minute. What do we have Humvee saying here? Humvee saying he was there last month for business and he was so happy to leave.
I'll have to ask him more about that later.
Steven here.
I think it might be. I don't want to get copyrighted on that music.
Yeah, I get the one.
I'm gonna find one where it's just normal.
Steven here.
You got the wrong.
I saw the original, not the original, but the other one. I saw it on YouTube. Hold on, let me go back. Look at this. I'm not gonna click it because I mean, but look. Look, it's right there. Hold on, let me see a preview of this. This is the video.
Is it okay if it's on YouTube? Do we get a pass if it's on YouTube?
No, probably not. I don't want to get. Yeah. Yes. Yes, master. Okay.
Steven here.
You got the wrong house.
I knew this was a ripoff.
Okay, what are you looking for? A Steven?
No, I am Steven. I'm looking for Fifi.
Yeah, you got the wrong house.
So you don't want to have sex tonight?
Sir, my husband's in the living room with the gun.
Huh. Okay.
Have a good
Understood.
Damn,
Steven here.
Steven's a unit.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, Miami. How was it? Tell us about it.
Oh my god. Oh man, I gotta make sure I don't say certain things that wait, shit, where's my phone? Okay, I have like a list here of notable things. Because I'm always on content brain. Anyway, I went over there to see a musical show that I thought would be a great, I'm going to keep harping on this, by the way, a great adventure for the four lads, me, Ahmed, bro, and Steven. And it just did not come to fruition for whatever reason, even though there were promises made, promises that were broken. Anyway, me being a stingy individual, well, also I probably would have just went either way, even if I could get a refund. I went by myself because these losers couldn't go for whatever reason. And basically, I'm trying to figure out where to start actually. Yeah, so I went to a fine late night establishment to enjoy the music of the bass variety. And wait, where the fuck is my list? And wait, shit, hold on. Dude, where are my notes?
Toothless Paste is saying Nick should get a Ring doorbell. I think he was inspired by seeing that Steven video, but Nick did have a Ring because he was showing the gunman, but I guess he just didn't want to use that on the other lady. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. I guess it was, nighttime versus daytime. Obviously, nighttime is going to be a lot more of an appropriate time to use it.
Damn. All right, I don't know where the notes are now. Anyway, oh wait, here we go. So I get in there because we had planned to go there last time. What do you call a trio? But that's four.
Quadro.
That doesn't sound right. but we're gonna go with it. The Quadro last time we tried to get into this place, but due to a massively inflated entry price, we decided not to. But I had bought a ticket ahead of time, so I got in at a reasonable price. And as soon as I get in there, you know, they're doing the stuff. They got like an opening guy, and this Brazilian guy walks up to me with his like accent. It was really funny too, because he was like short and like bald. He's like, "Hey man, you got papers?" And I'm like, "What?" You got papers, man. And he kept doing this. He kept asking like everybody around him for papers. And then later on, he was like smoking whatever it was. I have no idea what it could possibly be. And like one of the guys was like, "Hey man, you can't smoke in here." And then he did it again. And I guess they just stopped caring after it got crowded enough because everybody was smoking in there.
Was it bad?
Thing. I didn't smell that much, so it probably wasn't that many.
Dude, at EDC, it was like outdoor and you could still like smell it. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was really fucking
breathing
annoying.
it in.
It had to be the fact that we were like against the wind or whatever. That's the only thing I could think of, because it was windy there, from what I recall. But anyway, it's fun. You remember like when you went to the other place last time and you were trying to take a picture, but you're using flash. And like the guy came over to you, he's like, "Hey man, you can't be using flash in here." They did that. They did that like over and over again. They're trying to get a picture, and they kept, "Oh, that picture's not right." They kept going for it over and over again, like 5 times, using flash in the club. And eventually, the guy comes up to him and he's like, "Bro, you can't do that." And then they keep doing it. This guy, I don't know if they got kicked out eventually, but this guy just did not give a shit. The other thing was, I noticed there was a guy on crutches in there. So that was weird. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing in there. But
you just wrote that down as something to talk about, and that was your whole point on it.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny.
Okay.
A guy walking in there with crutches. Let's see what else we got there. Yeah, that's like more. Oh, this is the big thing. They did have the coconut water thing I was telling you about, where they had like a coconut and they just chop it open and put a straw in there. And that shit was refreshing as fuck.
I've had that at outlet malls.
How much did it cost you there?
Well, what size did you get?
There wasn't the size.
I mean, you know, just estimate small, medium, or large.
I guess a medium. I don't know.
That would ring me. I mean, count maybe like $8-9, maybe 10.
Yeah, it was more than that. Yeah. So that was one night, I guess. Oh, this is where it comes in. So I was leaving, right? And you have to leave through, you have to go downstairs, and downstairs they have like a little cafe where you can buy food, and like an actual just bar where you can just sit and relax instead of like dancing and shit. And as I'm like trying to find my way out of there, this darker individual calls me over. He's like, "Hey man, are you here with anybody?" Which is a very strange question. I was ready to start dashing after I heard that, but he didn't have the voice, you know, he didn't have the accent. So I was like, all right, this is probably all right. And he was also clearly out of it. And he's like, "Hey man, I forget exactly. Some guy came over to him too, because he's trying to help him talk to me. But he was saying that he was from Iowa, which is very strange considering his skin tone. You don't expect those people coming from Iowa. But this other guy that came over, he was like, "Yeah, man, he's from the cornfields of Iowa. I'm from the cornfields in Michigan." So that was an interesting thing. And then like I sat down and talked to the guy for a bit, and he's like, "Hey man, what's your name? Where are you from? Et cetera, et cetera. Who's your favorite artist?" Which was weird because I had to think about it. And he's like, "See, you don't even know. You got to think about it." But that was kind of it. I just talked to that drunk guy for a bit, and then I walked to the parking garage, which is very intimidating because that's not a great area at night, especially since it was like 6 a.m. But
dude, what the hell? Our guest says still finishing some stuff. Dude, it's 7:15. What could you be finishing at 7:15?
Maybe he's finishing.
Yeah. So I called. Here's something real quick. I called Steven. Here's who I called. I called Steven. Okay. And I called Steven, and he was in a work meeting, right? And he like answers, you know, I'm obviously like, "Yo, what's up, my boy?" And then I'm pretty, Yeah, but then I'm sure he's like, yo, what's up, nigga? Like, and here's the thing. Eventually we're talking and he's like, yo, man, like, what's going on here? Am I on mute or not? Because he sees a notification pop up that says like your mic is now muted. And he's like, usually it like tells me, on this Teams or whatever that, it's like your mic is muted. It's like, man, what's going on? Like is my mic muted or not? Did somebody mute it? Like, that's crazy. And he was like freaking out because he's like, yo, did I say nigga? And I was like, yeah, you probably did at the beginning, right? And I was trying to recall if that's actually what we said at the beginning of the call. It's like, yeah, that does sound like I said that, man. And he's like, yo, man, like my one coworker is gonna be upset about that. Like, I was dying. He was freaking out, and I was dying over it. It was so funny
earlier today.
Yeah, this was earlier today.
God damn. Steven gets really paranoid pretty easily.
Dude, when Steven gets paranoid, I start dying and he's over there freaking out. And at his misfortunes, I am just laughing so hard because of the way he freaks out about it, man. It's like, it was really like what happened at the place, at the spot
in Miami
that we talked about on our other Miami stream. Yeah.
That wasn't a stream, was it?
I think it was.
I don't think it was.
Let me check. I can tell you if it was. Or if it wasn't. But yeah, go ahead, bruh. What happened in Miami?
A quick side note. I was hanging out with some buddies the other day, and I had to explain to them why when I said in the context of something else completely unrelated, yeah, you have to really dig for that. Why I found that so funny. It took like 5 minutes to explain it to them, and they're just like, what? This guy's retarded. I already said it. Doesn't matter. Anyway.
I say it.
Yeah, I don't think it matters anymore. But anyway, that was the first night. I recovered with a Red Bull. I also didn't drink like at all. Yeah, I didn't have milk. I was really craving milk the next morning too. But it was not available to me. Oh yeah, I tried to get sleep because I got home we're at the hotel like 7. But like the night before, I got into my hotel room and the fridge was leaking and not working. So I brought like cheese and rice pudding to eat for breakfast. And it spent like a whole day in the hot sun in my car. So that shit was rancid. Not the cheese. I still like the cheese because it was raw. But the rice pudding was gone. That shit was fucked. But as I was trying to get to sleep, I had like these 2 Latin men come into my room speaking Spanish, trying to fix the fridge, which they did in like 2 seconds. They just like flicked a switch in the back. But then I tried to go to sleep again, but I forgot to put like the little like what do you call it? The like panel thing on the door that says do not disturb or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the cleaning woman came in as I'm trying to sleep. So I had to like get up. I was not fully dressed because I was trying to sleep. Get up, get dressed, go to the door before she opens it, and then she got so startled she just screamed. And then then I closed the door, and by that point it was like 4 or whatever, so I couldn't get to sleep. So I just took my losses, had another Red Bull, which was good, very good, and made on with the rest of my day, which included seeing that Daft Punk movie, which was pretty good, even though you can watch it all for free on YouTube, like legally too. But they added a few extra music videos. They had like one new one at the very end too. So that was cool. Kind of an empty theater though, but that's beneficial, I suppose. Then, because it was a Saturday night and I had like another day, I was not going to just sit home and do nothing. So I returned to the last place we went to with Bro, Steven, and yourself with the compromised bartender. I'll say that. Can we say that? Can I describe that, or do I have to censor that?
The bartender, you see, the chromosomes didn't match the bartender's perceived appearance or perceived self, not appearance, because appearance wise you could tell, but perceived self-understanding. There was a disparity between that and the bartender's chromosomes.
Yeah. So I went there. You know the weirdest thing too. I don't know if I told you this, but you remember how we were paying like $30 per drink at that place, right?
Yeah.
At the other place where it's like more established, it's open up later, you have bigger names there, et cetera, et cetera. I was paying like half the amount there.
Because they want
Granted,
you to get up for what you pay for, man. It's like, you know.
I mean, granted, I only had one drink, but still, like, there was a part of the night, the only time I got a drink actually, where I had to tell the guy what my drink was, and he was like, "Yeah, I can't actually charge you with a card because we've got a minimum amount that you can use your card for," and the drink was like 14, $16. So I had to use cash, which for the first time in my life I actually had, coincidentally,
Yeah.
to pay for that drink, which was pretty great. It was also a Red Bull drink. But
So you just got to get like a double every time then?
what do you mean? Oh,
Get
if
a
you
double
wanted
so
to
it
do that
costs
with
more,
card, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But that the other place, for the second day, I don't know if it was the ones I chose, but the drinks did seem cheaper than last time. Maybe it was because it was around Halloween again. But I get down there because it's in the basement, and the one broad that we were getting drinks from is not there, which is kind of upsetting because she was all right. She was easy on the eyes for the most part.
Looks
But
like
the
Binks.
other, she didn't look like Binks because Binks is not easy on the eyes.
Looks
However,
like Binks with makeup.
if Binks decides to come on the show, that was a joke. Anyway, where was I going with that? So the other one was there. The Autobot was there, unfortunately. So and the worst part was I was trying to avoid getting drinks from the Autobot
Mhm.
due to personal preference. But the Autobot kept like moving where they were in relation to where the crowd was instead of sitting in like one part of the bar. So I would have to like time it like in a certain way where the one bartender that I would go to that was all right wasn't busy, but the other one was also busy at the same time. There were like 5 times that entire night where I was trying to get a drink and I had to wait for like a minute or two for the one bartender that wasn't an Autobot to be done and looking for somebody to serve while the other one was busy or at the other side of the bar, which was way more complicated than it had to be. But anyway,
Toothless stole my joke here. I mean, he obviously, you know, we're on the same brainwave at this point. I was just thinking of the joke too, but he said these Decepticons aren't fooling anyone. I was thinking that you know, you couldn't call this a Decepticon because it wasn't very deceiving, you know.
Well, I mean, they don't have to be deceiving, do they?
To be a Decepticon, no? And then otherwise
They have a
just
fucking
Transformer.
brand on their thing. You know it's a Decepticon.
I'm just thinking the name, you know.
No, it
I
is
don't know.
misleading. The fact, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Either way, aside from that, I did actually get quite a few drinks there, and did not. Well, I haven't checked my bank account in literally months, but as far as I know, I did not take that much of a hit as much as last time. And the best part about that, this actually ties into my profile picture here a little bit. They were having a Detroit techno night where they had some of these guys playing that shit. And the greatest thing too was like usually you'll see a DJ and they're playing with like a jump drive or whatever, or they have their laptop. I saw these guys hand picking out like records to put on the tables and shit. That shit was crazy. But they were playing like 80s, 90s old school techno stuff. Who Mr. Atkins, who is my profile picture, is a big part of. But that was pretty dope. And then after that, I left because they closed earlier. And the next morning, I was supposed to meet up with a buddy of mine who I found out coincidentally was in the town at the same time for a festival. And we were supposed to meet up for breakfast. So I checked out of my hotel, got my car, and I was like, "Okay, bro, what's happening? What are we doing? When are we meeting?" And I never got an answer, so I just left. And then when I got back to where I was, my location, that isn't Miami, I get a text like, "Yo, when are you leaving?" And I'm like, "Bro." So that was the extent of that.
Yeah, well, sounds Sounds like an interesting excursion that I didn't get to hear all the details of until now. Now we need to see if we can get this guest on or not, because we're almost at the 2-hour mark here, and this guest said still finishing stuff like 10 minutes ago, but we're gonna try.
Dude, he's gonna be on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's see if we can. It's probably gonna go straight to voicemail. Yeah, let's try again. Now that because like do not disturb. I guess you gotta call again to try and break through.
Your call has been forwarded.
Really? Multiple barriers.
He doesn't have a custom voicemail?
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Wow. What a guess there. I just said he. Well, there you go. He was telling me like
as if it would be a female guest.
Yeah. I guess will that ever happen? Binks.
Not likely. Not anytime soon. That's definitely not happening.
But yeah, no, I mean it's obviously a guy, but he was telling me, yeah, man, usually I get off at like it's supposed to be like 3 hours ago that he was supposed to finish. He's been working all day. What the hell? Kind of slave factory does he work at?
He's a working man.
Yeah. On his computer, kind of slave factory is this? Okay, so I guess I'm just scrolling YouTube right now. I see apparently Binks. This is the title I'm seeing from this channel. Binks Fish Tank denounces Brandon Hilton production. Discord fish alt group chat interview.
What the fuck is Brandon Hilton?
The guy that got kicked out over the Lactatia thing.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Hilton?
I mean, I don't know if it's a fake name or what, A lot of people use fake last names.
Record.
Let's see. Yeah, Brandon Hilton, fashion designer. I'm surprised they didn't because you can look up Brandon Hilton and it shows right up. I mean, I guess they don't know exactly what he's designed. You can look him up and it just shows that, he is. I mean, you can tell it. Obviously he was gay. I don't think that was a secret. But I feel like it wouldn't be too hard to get to controversies,
I mean, if you're a fashion designer, I kind of just assume you're gay until proven otherwise.
Okay, so we're gonna see. I want to see this video because it just popped up in my feed. Binks Fish Tank denounces Brandon Hilton. I actually want to watch this.
One of the contestants that came in during the season 2.0 was Brandon, right? Brandon got immediately a lot of flack from Luke about him making
speed this up a bit. This is a little slow for me. I'm like sitting here thinking about too much. Hold on.
Dress for what was it, 8-year-old drag queen. Sam pulled you into the room.
8-year-old drag queen just sounds like it sounds like an exaggeration you'd hear, and then it's like real. That's crazy.
Wanted you to get him out of the house in tears. Now that everything is over, what are your feelings about Brandon and what he did in his past, or what he still might be doing? Who knows?
So I thought it was very strange that they let someone like that onto the show, because if that was such a large controversy when it comes to
we don't get to see Binks. You got your wish, Greg. You said she wasn't easy on the eyes. There you go. You got what you wanted.
Listen.
President.
That was a joke. Unless she doesn't come on, then it wasn't a joke.
Being involved on calling you out for PDF filing and stuff like that. That's kind of a big deal, kind of an oversight to bring someone like that on the show. And I thought it was offensive to try to come after me, who's playing for stakes in this show, to do you a favor of kicking him off, which honestly, if that's a PR nightmare, which it should be in every way, you should just remove that person and not ask me to do it for you. When it comes to making him leave in tears, I was never going to side with Brandon in the show, never be on his side, but I would have used him had he been forced to stay. That would have been an angle I would have played, because the only thing I cared about was winning. But I don't support anything that he did. I don't support the drag and children. I don't support that he put that child on his website, because if the child's parents are going on and having them do these drag shows or whatever, that's on their parents, and that's very unfortunate. But for you as an adult
in the industry of drag and all that, like to put a kid on your website, that's you like facilitating that, you know. And it's not so much that the out.
So who was like in support? It was Peyton, and then like maybe like some of the new people, like the new girls.
It was like
though.
all the new girls, yeah.
And then Peyton, because they were all younger too. Like Mizzy and Banks are like around 30 each. So obviously, and then even Bert, who was on, I don't know which one he was talking about it on, if it was this one or the other one he was on, but he was even saying like he doesn't support that. So yeah,
I mean,
Bert was like just saying he didn't know the facts at the time. He's like, I don't have internet access, but then he's like, now that I know, like, I don't support it.
To her credit, they probably should have just kicked him off immediately.
Yeah, I thought it would have been funny if they had somebody make him leave in tears. That would have been funny.
It would have been funny, but I could definitely see why she would get upset about the fact that she would have to be the one to do it. So that's fair.
Who was the other one Sam was trying to get that to? That was Breezy or whatever?
Yeah,
that was like complaining that $3,000 and then whatever like wasn't enough to get Brandon off the show, and she was just being a real bitch about it. She's like, I'm not cheap, whatever.
Such a waste of potential.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, all those, like, again, like I wanted to see Kawan stay, but all those people sucked. No? Like, who was
I mean, I think the other guys.
Actually, what was that Asian girl's name again? What was the Asian chick's name again?
I don't remember.
I see her like now people posting on like the fish tank subreddit and stuff. And she was even apparently on like whatever or something. Like she's like in a bunch of places. Like there was some guy DJing on like TikTok or something, and she's just like dancing with him there. But people compared her to like the Titans from Attack on Titan because of like her facial structure. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So we have no guest.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. You know, he won't respond.
That's unfortunate.
I'm gonna try it. Well, he's like his notifications are silent. Let me text him one more time. What are you watching? Sounds like a tutorial.
Don't worry about it.
He's like,
why is this not turning down? Goddamn.
Yeah, sometimes I say that in the middle of the night.
What? Turning down?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I don't know if he's not gonna be on here. If he's, you know, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I should be able to. You know, I usually finish like 3 hours ago from now. Yeah, I should be able to." But we're not gonna get him. We're not gonna get him. He sounded like he was gonna be okay to do it, but apparently he's not gonna come on. That's unfortunate.
Pretty upsetting.
Pretty gay.
Well, I was trying not to say that, but yes.
Pretty gay. I didn't say that was a negative thing.
That's true. You didn't say that.
I was saying the fact that he was such a disappointment makes me say gay, because gay is a word for happy.
God.
Gay is a word for happy. So I was happy that he exposed himself as a disappointment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know how that could have been taken. That's funny too, actually. But yeah. I like how that could have, like, as soon as I started with it, it just got worse and then it got better. It gets worse before it gets better, guys. You know, like having a gay son. And so
I was gonna ask you, when does it get better? But yeah. I think I already know when that
yeah. Anyway, guys, we talked a lot about the Nick Fuentes situation today, which I think was important to cover, because it is crazy that people are being targeted for this stuff, like I said. And I think, you know, obviously, like, we need to, you know, be aware of what's happening. We can't be letting people just act as if this is normal behavior, just because you disagree with somebody. We've gotten to a point where crazy shit's happening because that is just like, it's not the norm, but it's becoming a lot more like that, where people will just kind of accept this behavior or advocate for it. And so, you know, we can't really accept this, but Yeah, covered Greg's Miami trip just to make it a little more lighthearted at the end and have a little more comedy. We were hoping to get our guest on, but he was not here. So, I mean, I'm just going to leave that in the title as a point of shaming him. As a point of shaming him, I'm not editing that title. I'm going to leave it there. And when he comes back on the show, we're going to expose him. There we go. Anything to add, Greg, before we leave?
Red Bull and coconut rum is a good combination.
I will have some tonight.
Oh, yeah, they do have that.
Oh, my God. He's telling me next time. He just texted me next time. Next time.
On Total Drama Island. All right. Yeah, that's kind of it.
On the podcast.
The podcast ever.
The podcast ever.